Welcome back to my channel mga boss. For today's video, mabilisan lang pag-usapan natin ay about electricity sa automotive. Okay, so para maintindihan natin kung nagda-diagnose man tayo or meron tayong problema about electricity, kailangan nating maintindihan kung ano ba yung electricity. This is just a fundamental. This is very basic lang to ng electricity na gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo guys, yung mga marunong na, it's probably not gonna be for you, but doon sa mga gustong matuto, doon sa nagsisimula pa lamang at gustong matuto about electrical ng mga sasakyan, then please continue watching this video kasi dito magsisimula lahat. Okay, so although this is gonna be a very boring one, please watch this video kung gusto nyong matuto kasi dito nagsisimula lahat. This is fundamental of electricity, and do not just huwag kayong makontento sa sinabi ko dito. Mag-google kayo and do all your research and everything kasi this is not complete. This is just, as an automotive tech, ito lang yung maibabahagi ko sa inyo na ginagamit ko daily. Okay, I'm not going to like give you guys an scientific explanation or yung mga atoms and electrons and ions and how many of this, how many of that para maging conductors or para maging insulators. You guys can do the research on your own about that. This is just yung applicable na in a daily basis. Okay, so if you guys are still interested, please continue watching. So, para maintindihan natin at ma-diagnose natin yung mga electrical issues ng sasakyan, kailangan muna nating malaman yung pinaka-basic at fundamental ng electricity na ginagamit sa automotive. Okay? Doon sa mga gustong matuto about electricity, this is a must kasi dito naka-pundasyon yung ability natin to be able to fix electrical issues sa mga sasakyan. Okay, so this is just the most basic ones. Ito lang yung gusto kong ibahagi sa inyo kasi ito lang naman talaga yung ginagamit natin or madalas sa automotive as a technician. Okay, so ito lang yung gusto kong ibahagi sa inyo. Part 1 to, tapos may mga susunod pa kasi hindi natin makover lahat. So first off, kailangan natin i-define ano ba yung electricity. Okay? So, maraming definition ng electricity. May mababasa nyo sa books, Google, and everything na resources na makita nyo. Madaming definition ng electricity. So, sa atin, i-define natin siya as a flow of charge. Pay attention to the word flow. Okay? Because without flow, there's no electricity. So, kung walang flow, walang electricity. So, flow of charge, definition natin about electricity. Okay, ano ba yung charge? Yun yung positive and negative charge, diba? Sa mga atoms and ions and electrons na yan. So, we're not gonna go over doon sa mga atoms, electrons, and nucleus, because that's you guys can Google that up. Okay, so direct na tayo doon sa applicable sa automotive na kasi hindi naman tayo magda-diagnose ng gano'ng karaming atoms, gano'ng karaming nucleus o gano'ng karaming electrons yung present, di ba? We talk about voltage, we talk about resistance, we talk about amps. Yun lang yung mostly sa automotive, so we're gonna focus on that. Kung gusto nyo malaman about atoms, nucleus, yung pinaka basic ng lahat actually ng nandito sa mundo, then you guys can Google that up. Okay, so electricity, flow of charge. Okay, so without flow, there's gonna be no electricity. So sa loob ng battery natin mga sir, meron tayong meron diyang stored energy, but kung hindi yan nagfo-flow, walang complete circuit, so walang electricity na lumalabas. Okay, so kaya ibig sabihin nito, pinaka-importante yung flow. Alright, so meron dalawang theory kung paano ba nagfo-flow yung charge na yan. Okay, so paano yan nagfo-flow? Nung unang panahon, nung nagpalipad ng saranggola si Benjamin Franklin, tapos kumidlat, ang inakala niya at nag-form sa theory niya na ang flow of charge is from positive to negative. Okay, kasi common sense naman, di ba? So from positive to negative. Yun yung akala nila o akala niya. So yun yung ginagamit nila ever since. But that's actually wrong kasi later on nagkaroon ng ang pag-aaral, yung mga scientists, mga engineers, yung matatalinong tao kung ano ba talaga o yung flow ng electricity or ng electrons. So they actually figure out that the electron flows from, or the charge flows from negative to positive. So kabaliktaran ng conventional flow, di ba? At yun yung tinatawag nilang electron flow. So yung conventional from positive to negative, easier to understand, di ba? Positive to negative, from more to less. Tapos yung electron flow from less to more, or from negative to positive, which is kinda opposite nung alam na natin. So ang ginagamit as of now sa automotive field, as far as doon sa technician side ay this one, yung conventional. Kasi nung nagkaroon ng electron flow, they didn't even bother to change it. It's not gonna make any difference. It's not gonna make sense to change na ito na yung ginagamit nila ever since, tapos babaguhin mo pa. Wala namang kumbaga wala namang major change na mangyayari. Except na lang siguro pagka nagde-design sila ng electricity, yung mga engineers, mga scientists, syempre yung mga symbols na yan, di ba? But since ito na yung ginagamit ever since yung conventional flow, yung wiring diagram natin mga boss, as of now, ito na yung ginamit. Okay, so from positive to negative, which is pretty easy to understand. So ito lang ay book knowledge, okay? Although this is the right, ito yung totoo na nangyayari, ito po yung ginagamit natin sa field. Okay, kasi yung wiring diagram natin nakabase sa conventional flow of electricity. Okay, yung mga engineer siguro ito yung ginagamit, but problema na nila yon. Dito lang tayo. So tatanggalin natin yan. Hindi natin yan kailangan. Gusto ko lang malaman ninyo na yan yung isa pang theory of electricity, yung flow of electricity. Okay, so focus tayo dito para hindi mahirap. Okay, sa sasakyan natin guys, meron tayong dalawang power plant kumbaga, di ba? So you can pretty much make electricity by what? Mechanical, chemical, solar, wind, mechanical na rin yun. Kung ano-ano pa, di ba? Acid, lemon, stuff like that. So you can make electricity by pretty much a lot of ways. Pero sa sasakyan natin, meron tayong dalawang way na mag-produce ng electricity. One of them is through chemical reaction sa battery, at yung isa sa mechanical. Okay, so mechanical that will be our alternator, and then chemical that will be our battery. Okay, so sa loob ng battery natin guys, meron tayong positive at negative. Ngayon balik tayo dito sa conventional flow. Okay, so yung sa loob ng battery, meron diyang positively charged na mga particles at negatively charged na mga particles. So as we know, yung negatively charged and positively charged, they attract each other, di ba? Opposite charge attract each other. So yung negative, gustong-gustong, actually, I should say positive. Yung positive, gustong-gustong pumunta doon sa negative charge. So gustong-gusto nilang yung positive gustong pumunta dito. But, since sa loob ng baterya, meron niyang insulator. Yun yung electrolyte. So sa loob ng battery, yung tinatawag na electrolyte, yun yung nagsiseparate sa kanilang dalawa. So yung positive at negative, hindi pag-attract doon sa loob ng battery kasi nga may electrolyte na nagseparate sa kanila. Ngayon, to use yung energy stored sa mga particles na to or sa charge, we have to come up with a way na yung positively charged, again, using this conventional flow, ay pumunta dito sa negatively charged ng mga particles by making a way or a path. Pag binigyan natin ng path yung positively charged particles papunta doon sa negatively charged, then we can harness yung energy stored sa kanila. So ang ginawa ng mga scientists at mga engineers, they actually create a circuit. So yun tinatawag na circuit. So electrical circuit, yung path of electricity. So yung path ng charge papunta sa yung daan ng positively charged papunta sa negatively charged. Okay? Again, conventional. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa inyo guys, yung flow, it's all about the flow. So, nagkaroon tayo ng circuit. Okay. Ito yung path ng positively charged papunta sa negatively charged na mga atoms and particles or whatever. So, but then, sabi na lang, okay, kung sinort lang natin yan, pag naglagay tayo ng path, tapos diretso lang, ay di sasabog naman yung battery or magkukos ng big short. So, ang ginawa nila, actually, naglagay sila ng load. Yun yung mga load, yun yung electrical motors, yung light bulbs, yung kahit na anong pwedeng paandarin, di ba? Yun yung mga load. So, sabi nila, well, bago ka punta dito sa negatively charged ng mga particles, pailawin mo muna yung light bulb ko. And then, you can go back here. So, naubos na muna yung charge dyan, kaya hindi nagkaroon ng short. Alright? And then, you can go here. So, gumawa sila ng circuit using conductors, yung metal wires, yung coppers, yung etc. Sa sasakyan, ito yung ginagamit natin, mga copper wire, body ground metal. So, yan yung ginamit nila as a path of electricity from positive to negative. Okay? So, we use copper wires, yung body ground metal. Tapos, insulators, we use plastic. Sa automotive, yung mga plastic, rubbers, yan, yung mga ginagamit natin. Bakit kailangan natin ng insulators? Para guys, kasi yung mga particles na yan, o yung mga atoms na yan, or electrons na yan, I should say electrons, they can, go anywhere they want. They can go anywhere they want. So, kailangan natin ng insulators, balutan yung wires para concentrated lang sila doon sa kung saan natin sila gustong padaanin. So, hindi sila nagkalat. Okay, so kaya gumagamit ng insulator to prevent that from going anywhere, which in other term, short. So, yun. Okay? So, we use plastic and rubbers, tsaka yung pambalot ng wires doon. Tapos, isa pang component ng circuit ay ang semiconductors. Actually, this is applicable sa mga electronics na semiconductors, transistors. So, yung mga modern computerized na mga sasakyan. Yan, napakarami ng transistor ngayon. So, semiconductors kasi pwede yung maging positive, pwede yung maging conductors and insulators at the same time, di ba? Depende lang kung sa anong condition. Okay, so pwede silang maging conductors kung kailangan nilang maging conductors, at pwede silang maging insulators kung kailangan nilang maging insulators. Depende sa command ng PCM, they can be conductors or insulators. They can either allow the flow as conductors or restrict the flow as insulators. Kaya nagkaroon na tayo ng mga computerized na mga sasakyan dahil sa transistors. Okay, so yun yung basic ng electricity, so meron tayong battery, we created a path using conductors, and then we put load to use yung stored energy from the battery, and then we use insulators to concentrate yung flow, and semiconductors like transistor for computerized on-off ng mga circuit. Ngayon, meron tatlong characteristic dyan sa electricity, so palagi nyo itong maririnig sa pagdadiagnose ng mga sasakyan, yung voltage, yung current, at yung resistance. So yung voltage, guys, ito yung pressure, so electrical pressure. So sa fully charged na battery, which is 12.6, yun po yung voltage niya, yun yung pressure. So yun yung nagtutulak doon sa electrons to flow. So siya yung magtutulak sa mga to para pumunta na dito sa kabila. So yan yung electric voltage, pressure. Okay, so kung mas mababa yung pressure, mas maliit yung voltage, mas maliit yung pressure na magtutulak dito sa mga electrons, 'di ba? So mas mababa yung voltage, mas mahina. So current naman, yung amps na tinatawag nila, ito yung movement ng electrons per given time. So ang unit of measurement niyan is A. So A, yun yung unit of measurement niya. Tsaka yung sa voltage pala, V, yung unit of measurement niya. Okay? So voltage, current, tapos yung last, yung resistance. Ito, guys, yung opposition of current flow. So ito yun yung mga nagpre-prevent ng current to flow. Okay? So yan yung resistance. Meron tayong good resistance, tsaka yung unwanted resistance. Actually, yung mga load, merong mga specific resistance yan. So, yung light bulb, yung motor, may mga specific resistance yan, which is a good resistance. Ngayon, kung nagkaroon ng open here, yan, so that's unwanted resistance, so may corrosion, then that's not good. Yun yung sinasabi na nating unwanted resistance. So, ang symbols niyan ay ohms. Okay? O yung parang shoe. So, yan yung symbols ng resistance. So, meron tayong good resistance, which is the load, kung ano yung resistance ng load, tsaka yung unwanted resistance, yung hindi natin dapat makita sa isang functioning circuit. Kung present yung unwanted resistance, that means something wrong with the circuit. Okay? So, yan yung hinahanap natin, o yan yung palagi nating makikita pag nagda-diagnose tayo ng mga sasakyan. Sorry. Kadalasan yung voltage and resistance. So may mga specification sa voltage, tapos meron specification sa resistance. Yung current, nagagamit natin to sa mga sa injector current ramp. Sa mostly magagamit nyo to pag gumagamit kayo ng oscilloscope. So yan, current na yung waveform and stuff like that. So yan, yung injector current ramp, yung ignition coil current ramp, yan applicable yan. Okay, pero kadalasan ginagamit natin sa mga simple testing, voltage and resistance. Okay, so if you guys need to go over this with me, just hit mag-comment lang kayo, and then we can actually mapaliwanag natin yan. But very simple. Voltage is pressure, current yun yung movement ng electrons, tapos yung resistance yung opposition ng flow of electrons. Okay, so Ohm's law, ito guys, meron lang may dalawang formula lang ako na gustong talagang i-share sa inyo na dapat alam nyo. Okay, ito yung isa, tapos yung pangalawa sa susunod na natin. So ito yung Ohm's law na tinatawag natin. So ito yung voltage is equal to current times resistance. Ay yung ginagamit natin dito guys, kasi yan yung sa formula ha. Sa formula ito yung ginagamit nila. Pero sa unit of measurement A, okay, pati doon sa multimeter A yung makikita nyo. Pero sa formula ay yung ginagamit nila. I don't know why. So meron tayong voltage is equal to current times resistance. So ibig sabihin lang yan, kung alam mo yung current at alam mo yung resistance, malalaman mo kung ano yung voltage. Okay? At kung gusto mo namang malaman kung ano yung current, then you just do voltage divided by resistance. Okay? Kung alam mo yung voltage, divide mo lang sa resistance, malalaman mo yung current. Tapos yung resistance, you go by voltage divided by current. Okay? So ito yung formula na gusto ko lang malaman ninyo. So voltage, multiply mo yung current and resistance. Pag yung current hinahanap mo, voltage divided by resistance. Pag resistance yung hinahanap mo, voltage divided by current. Okay, book knowledge lang naman to. Alright? Book knowledge lang yan. Kung mayroon kayong mga testing, para makakuha ng certificate, kailangan alam niyo yung formula na yan. Tapos yung isa, yung pinaka-importante actually, in my opinion, yun yung pag-uusapan natin sa susunod na electrical class natin. Hindi ko alam kung kailan, but we're gonna talk about that, and actually that's my favorite one because that's what I use a lot actually. So yun yung talagang ginagamit natin palagi. So summarize lang natin mga sir. Electricity, flow of charge. No flow, no electricity. So in automotive, we use conventional flow, which is from positive to negative. It's easier, although it's wrong. That's what we use. And then, sa battery, there's an stored energy there that we use, and then they came up with a circuit para mag-provide ng path doon sa electron to flow. Because like I said, no flow, no electricity. And then we put load there to harness that energy. And then to be able to do that circuit, we use conductors, metal wires sa sasakyan, mga wires, tsaka ground, and then insulators, mga rubber and stuff, and semiconductors, transistors for computer controlled circuits, and modernization ng mga natin sasakyan. And then voltage, pressure, current, yun yung movement ng electrons, resistance, yun yung opposition, and then Ohm's law. So this is the basic lang mga sir, but this is very fundamental sa automotive. Kung gusto nyo matuto or gusto nyo mag-diagnose ng electrical issue, this is just the most basic one. And then next video or next electrical video natin, we're gonna go over testing tsaka design ng circuits. So meron tayong series and parallel circuits, meron tayong mga switches, yung components ng circuits and stuff like that. Napakadami natin pwede mapag-usapan. So this is just a part 1 and introduction lang ba. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something in this video. If you haven't, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button or the bell button para updated kayo sa mga susunod nating video. Thank you all for subscribing, and keep watching all my videos. Doon sa mga gustong matuto na nagko-comment sa akin or nagme-message sa akin that they wanna learn more of this stuff, then we're gonna keep doing it, even though it's really hard at times. But for you guys, I'm gonna keep sharing what I know, kasi hindi ko naman madadala yan sa hukay. At hopefully meron tayong ma-inspire na mga baguhan pa lang. Okay, so alright guys, I'll see you in our next video.